returned.
Dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Setcast podcast, a Star Wars podcast where we pretty much talk anything and everything Star Wars. One of your hosts, PJ the Paradox Nerd, alongside, Sean is actually really busy. Hoping that he's able to hop on a little bit later. If not, you'll probably see him sometime next week. But we do have a special guest tonight. We got Doc Smizzle, Full Shizzle, my Smizzle. What's up, Doc? It's been a while,
What's
man.
up, buddy? Doing well, man. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, it's been a while. And thank you for hopping on. First of all, I just want to say there is no tomorrow, as Apollo Creed says in Rocky, was it Rocky 2? Rocky 3? I think it was Rocky
Don't
3.
ask me.
It's been a while. But yeah. The thing too is that, man, I've been striking out, guys, this past week with everything. Bottleneck Gallery, which we'll talk about it a little bit later. Bottleneck Gallery released some prints. It was some prequel prints. And, I was advertising it on a Facebook group, but unfortunately, I missed out on it because I forgot to set my timer. And plus I had a meeting that around like 12 o'clock when it got released. And on top of that, I'm going to Disneyland next month. And I wanted to go and check out was it the Star Wars night, I think, right, Doc?
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I was saying you were going a month too early. I think, I'm going down to Disney in June.
Yeah, so, in Disneyland, they're having it for like a couple weeks, but the week that I booked my vacation, all the tickets were sold out, and it was just available like a couple days ago. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I'm gonna, I'm probably gonna buy it today. I have some time, and then when I go, to the website to buy the tickets, they were all sold out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how the heck did I miss that?
Yeah,
dude,
no, that sucks.
Oh for 2. Okay, so I got a text message from Gabe. He should be hopping on in a little bit, but as we wait for him, Gabe is, you guys might know him, is Star Wars Replicas. So he'll be hopping on the show in just a bit. All right, so let's address the chat real quick, and then we'll talk Star Wars. We got Rock On Man Chris. I'm new. Don't mess this up, dude. That's a lot of pressure. I'm scared. Hold on one second. And who else is here? We got Jedi Chisel, Full Shizzle, Smizzles. PJ's probably in the bathroom. You are absolutely right. Bob Dylan in the house. What's up, Bob? Is the doctor in the house?
It should be Doc Thor.
Doc Thor. We got Sinister SMR. What's up, Sinister? We got Darth Kenobi in his house. And then we got CT603. Blame Doc. What's up, CT603? Thank you for tuning in. So, we got back. Somebody stole your hat. I know I haven't worn a hat in like the past 3 or 4 weeks. I'm trying to show off my hair, which I haven't done so in like such a long time.
I mean, looking a little salt and peppery these days too.
Oh man, it's when you have kids, man. That's
I know. When I was getting my haircut yesterday, I saw all these like white strands sitting on the barber cape or whatever it is.
I know, man. I used to have a nice set of like black hair until like my kids, So
it's wisdom, sign of wisdom.
Exactly, experience. Yeah. So, just really quick, I know we're going to talk about the Bad Batch, but we just, FYI, Doc and I did not watch today's episode, so we are not going to be talking about today's episode. But we will talk about last week's 2-episode week. I forgot. Yeah, so they had 2 episodes last week. So let's talk about that, man. Just real quick, and then we'll talk about some Star Wars collectibles, which are art prints, Tales of the Jedi. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. We got a lot to talk about. Yeah. So what'd you think about the last week's episodes, man? Like, especially like the first one of the two.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. The memory's a little foggy now at this point, a week out. I tend to,
I
forget, when it goes week to week. But
yeah.
uh, there's been a lot of intrigue this season, and I'm just curious, like what they're doing with it, because
Hmm.
it just feels like a lot of these newer shows are just kind of like feeding into what they've done in the sequel trilogy. So
Hmm.
I like what they're doing with the Mega and her being like the catalyst behind it. But where is it going? Why is it important? Why do I care anymore? Especially if the characters are starting to sunset. Their stories about the sunset. So
Yeah.
I like
Uh,
both episodes. Unfortunately I can't remember too much about the episode.
yeah. Yeah.
So maybe we can pull some highlights here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got some like this is the identity crisis. This was episode 10. So basically this was basically about like what was happening in the I don't even know what the name of the lab is. If anyone in the chat can let us know. So we got
Oh, that's right, with the kids and everything too.
yeah, we're
It's starting
finding
to come
out
back to me a little bit.
yeah, so basically we're finding out what they're doing with the kids in the facility. Basically they're testing them. It was kind of like very dark and heartbreaking at the same time what they were doing to these kids. And you could see the cell too. It's very like, oh my gosh, I think it's worse than prison, man. It's like it's just like a very rock hard bed, right? I think there might have been a pillow. I didn't see a pillow. I don't think I saw a
Definitely no
bathroom.
blankets.
They had no blankets. It was very dark and very sad at the same time because these are little kids, and all they're doing is like testing them, like for, I guess, their M count.
Right.
And
And then sorry.
no, go.
Oh yeah, I was agreeing with you. Sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of crazy what they're doing to these kids. And then we did find out a little bit later that I guess what's that called? Omega is basically the bond that will, I don't know what you could call it. So it's like they need her blood to actually create
Right.
like a
To
force.
make the force ability stick
Yes.
is what I got. She's the glue to the whole project. So really
Yeah.
interested to see like what they do with that like going forward.
Yeah, I'm curious too. But this is so dark. This probably has to be one of the darkest episodes in a Star Wars TV show because I mean, yeah, it's involving kids, which is kind of scary. The last time, like were treated badly was I don't know, episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Anakin like chopped down the younglings, which is really dark as well.
Yeah, it's hard to
Uh,
digest.
yeah. So also we got to see Cad Bane.
Yeah, some of this is starting to come back to me too. It's really interesting, like how Moff Gideon is appearing, and he's kind of out, in the dark in this project, and I can't remember the main doctor's name, but the guy who's basically running this project for Project
Mhm.
Necromancer, he seems like an elusive character who almost in a way is above Moff Gideon, just in terms of the I guess the science behind it. Whereas Moff Gideon's more in the governance realm. He's operating on the Death Star.
Mhm.
This project's not necessarily for him, so it's on a need to know basis. But dude, shoehorning Cad Bane in there was pretty fun too to see.
Yeah, to be honest, I heard the Spurs, like, as he was walking by the door of the of like that family, right? Of the mom and that kid's like
Yeah,
house. And I'm like, that's Spurs, right? Like, cause Boba Fett, like he rocks some Spurs too. So I'm like, yeah, but this is like a little bit more like, like in terms of the sound of the Spurs, it was like very like noticeable, as opposed to Boba Fett. But I was like, is that Boba Fett or is that
Yeah,
Cad Bane?
I've been waiting for Boba Fett to show up in this show for a couple seasons now. So I'm actually surprised we haven't seen him yet. I think we're close. I think they're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I thought it was funny, he's on this bounty hunting mission, and you know right off the rip that he's got the wrong kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a fun little like light-hearted moment in the entire episode. Because yeah, you're right. That episode's pretty dark. It's pretty deep in terms of like testing on children.
Mm-hmm.
What are the ramifications on testing on these kids? They seem very down and depressed, and what happens to them when their testing is done. So
Yeah, exactly. Here's another one where they're this is the episode right after. It's called The Point of No Return. So in this episode, there was this, I don't know what you call it, this special forces type of, I don't know, clone. Like it's basically what they were trying to do to Crosshair. Like they were trying
Mhm,
to like make him into like this special ops clone trooper ish.
mhm.
And dude, I don't know if they mentioned it, dude, but I have a feeling this might be Commander Cody, man.
I've seen that tossed around as well as like a
Clone X,
clone of
yes, CT6.
Crosshair or Tech. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not sure who's under that mask, and that's part of the intrigue of it. I
yeah,
wouldn't be surprised though if it was something left field, unexpected. Just. But
yeah.
it might be Cody. What did happen to Cody
Yeah,
shortly
what
after
did
we
happen
last
to Cody,
saw him?
and why did they bring him back? There has to be a reason. So CT
Right.
603, obviously, CT 603. You could tell that you're a clone. You're a clone fan. So, what's your thoughts on it? Do you think it might be Commander Cody? Guys in the chat, also let us know. I think it's
Oh yeah.
Commander
He
Cody
also
because
mentioned that Tantus is what the vault.
oh yeah,
That's where
the Tantus, yeah,
that's where the lab was. Yeah.
the Tantus. Thank you
Yeah.
guys.
CT's my clone guy. I keep him around for his encyclopedia of knowledge
Oh
for
CT,
clones. Yeah.
yeah. So, so this episode is basically like, Clone X, you could say, went after them, and he got all his Republic commandos to come help him out. It ended pretty badly, guys. So, unfortunately, they were able to get Omega and bring him to Tantus. So I'm pretty sure in like this week's episode is probably the Bad Batch going after Omega. So yeah, it kind of left like left us off as in the cliffhanger.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, man.
Yeah. Now I'm excited to get back to the episodes and figure out where
Mhm.
where we left off at because
Oh
I
my
didn't have
god!
an opportunity to sit down and watch.
Oh my god! Bob Dylan's P Diddy. I fear you're right about Cody. Yeah, man. It's like there has to be a reason why they kind of mentioned him in like in the previous season, and we haven't heard from him again. So what the heck happened to Cody, right? Uh,
Yeah, he disobeyed an order, if I remember the last time
yeah,
we
he
saw him.
disobeyed an
And
orders, but
so,
who knows?
yeah,
They might have caught him and
yeah.
like kind of like made him into Clone X. You never know, right? It's definitely not Cody either. Cody went AWOL in season 2. Yeah, I'm curious to see. I'm sure they're gonna reveal his identity pretty soon, right? So I think Omega, Pastor says, I think Omega's going to teach the kids about meditation and the Force. Okay, actually, yeah, that could be interesting. What's up,
And they'll
Pats
break
fan?
out and delay the project.
Yeah, and by the way, OBP, son of a. I'm just kidding, not you, but you know what I'm saying. Obi-Wan, my least favorite Jedi. I'm kidding, guys. He's actually pretty good, but I'm an Anakin fan and Dark Side fan here, so you can see why you don't really like Obi-Wan too much because he keeps beating us all the time. Anyway, yeah, so I'm really happy the way the Bad Batch season's going so far. To me, I think it's definitely better than the previous seasons. You're doing a really good job with it. So I'm curious to see how this week's episode went. If anyone in the chat can give us like maybe a little non-spoiler quick review, did you guys, or maybe like a thumbs up or a thumbs down? I don't know. Let us know what you guys thought about this week's episode. And we got Gabe.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry for being late.
No, don't worry, man.
All right, just on time.
Just on time. Good, because I haven't watched that new. I heard you guys were talking about the Bad Batch episode, and I haven't watched it.
Me too. Us three. So we
Okay.
talked about last week's episode. So yeah, I mean, just real quick, Gabe. And by the way, guys, if you guys get a chance, please subscribe to Star Wars Replicas on YouTube. Check him out on Instagram. Check him out on TikTok.
Appreciate
A
that.
really good like content that he pumps out of there. I think he just recently he was in Disneyland, so you get to see some of his videos there. There is was it Seasons of the Force? I think right, correct,
Yeah.
Gabe.
Yeah. That just launched literally this last week,
Mhm.
and now obviously I'm really close here to Disneyland, so we got passes, so we're always there. But yeah, no, it was really cool. They have a lot of cool little things going on.
Yeah. So also for Doc Smizzle, please check him out on Instagram. I believe on YouTube as well, right, Doc?
No, yeah. Not so much these days, but occasionally. Been thinking about picking it back up here and there just for fun.
Yeah. So yeah, please check. Do me a favor, guys. Just please, take a, 2 seconds and just maybe just hit subscribe to their channels and please follow them. They do really good content. And also check them out on Instagram. But yeah, Gabe, what's your thoughts on like this season and like the past couple episodes, besides this week's episode? But yeah.
So here I'm gonna just be blunt about this because I might get some heat for it, but I watched the first season pretty like on a schedule, right? I was going on. Then season 2 came out, and I watched maybe the first few episodes, and then I didn't watch the rest of the season. And then I skipped everything and watched the last episode, the tech episode, right? That was the last one.
Mhm.
And then that's it. And I never kind of filled in all those gaps.
Mhm.
Something about that second season wasn't keeping me like hooked.
Yeah.
But this season, oh my God, man. From first episode, I was like hooked. And it's maybe because it's a little bit slower. It's a little bit more like story driven. So it kind of forces me to like kind of focus and pay attention. And it has to do with the Empire. And like, to me, that's my favorite topic when it comes to Star Wars, right? Like,
yeah,
kind of the inner workings of the Empire. I've always been a huge I'd always been intrigued about just like even like Palpatine and like his rise to power and like just like that whole kind of timeline and that whole storyline. So this is right up my alley, and it felt very almost like Andor-ish.
Yeah.
Right? Ace, like the more story driven, more character driven. But I've been loving it, man.
Yeah, me too, man. I totally agree with you. Like the first 2 seasons, like the first episode of the first season was really good. And then it really tapered off. Like they started going on all these like side missions that had nothing to do with the like I guess not only the story or the like any character development of the characters, but just like like you said, the rise of the Empire. Like we saw little bits and pieces here and there, but most of the time they were doing like errands for what's her name? I don't even know.
Right. The
The lizard lady. Yeah. I'm like, oh come on, another one. Like let's keep on rolling.
I like where we're at now with the intrigue. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, like
it meanders, but I think we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, it's like the Empire is like like the rise of the Empire or what's going on, like, especially with the what's that called? The Project Necromancer.
Right. Yeah.
And
I
know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say. So that's always been a favorite topic since the comics. Remember the Dark Empire comics?
Yes.
Right. With like the whole cloning and all that stuff. Like, because that was even before the prequels. So like we're learning about this whole cloning system and the Emperor, trying to clone himself and stuff. And then obviously we saw a little bit of it, on the Rise of Skywalker, right? Obviously he returned.
Yes, somehow the
um,
emperor returned.
yeah, so I, you know, as much people, people hate on that movie. That was actually my favorite part of the Rise of Skywalker, was kind of like the Emperor coming back, because I always had it in my mind since I was a kid. Dude, the Emperor is gonna clone himself. Like, I know that's the whole underlying thing,
Yeah, especially in the era of the empire, you know that was the case, right? But the thing too is that, like, I kind of wish they explored it right before they, like, I wish they kind of did this, the heir to the empire
Hmm.
trilogy, and then maybe lead on to the sequel trilogy.
I agree.
So it was just maybe better explain, like, okay, Palpatine returned, but how the hell did he come back?
Well, and one little Easter egg, or not Easter egg, but like, you could probably go back and view it this way. But in when Anakin sits down with the Chancellor at
Mhm.
the auditorium, and he explains to him that, like, I could, teach you how to elude death.
Yeah.
That's essentially, he's alluding to the fact that he's working on trying to figure out how to clone himself in the event that so you could look at it that way.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what they're patching it together to retrain the audience
Yeah.
to hopefully love the sequel
Well,
trilogy.
imagine
And
how cool would it have been for the Rise of Skywalker to been kind of like a final kind of, wrapping everything up, where like all those star destroyers that were there are like Thrawn's fucking army, right? Sorry,
No, you can curse. Yeah, yeah.
Thrawn's, like Thrawn's, like,
Like,
eh,
yeah, army that he's been building, that's
right,
been
that he's
like,
been
right,
building, and the Emperor's there. I mean, how cool would that have been?
yeah, I think though, here's the thing. I think what is giving a lot of, people, a lot of Star Wars fans, a bad taste in their mouth about the sequels is the treatment of Luke, right?
Oh, oh yeah, no, I agree.
So I think if they could, I mean, for me, I think the best way to kind of like remedy all this and like make people appreciate the sequels is that make it seem like that Luke we saw in The Last Jedi is not the real Luke, and that was a clone. I mean, that was initially the plan, I think. Because I supposedly there were some rumors that, like, the opening cut scene or opening scene for was that Force Awakens was supposed
Yeah.
to be Luke's hand floating in
Hmm.
space, and like they were able to like pick it up and use that to clone Luke,
Mhm.
right? That his hand that was cut off, obviously, but I don't know. It'd be good because we want like a proper send off with these OG characters, right? So hoping at some point they're able to do that with the new movies that they're releasing, which, by the way, which is a great segue, because now I think we got a, a release date for Mando and Grogu, which I believe is I think May something 2026, I believe. Correct, guys?
Yeah, I think it was
oh wow,
26. So
it's right around the
well,
corner.
yeah,
right.
right around the corner. Which, by the way, listen, I'm not rushing it as long as they do it well. And not Dave Filoni, John Favreau's directing that movie.
Wow.
But yeah, Doc, what do you think about that movie? And is that something that we need right now in the Star Wars
Uh, I don't
universe
know.
right now?
I don't know what Star Wars needs right now. Star Wars needs to come back in theaters. That's for sure. I would love to go see a Star Wars movie again
Mhm.
Yeah.
and experience that in the theaters. But whether or not it needs to be Mando and Grogu, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm Mando and Grogu'd out, but they need to give me more at this point. I feel like season two ended off on such a perfect note, and then they kind of start undoing it through the Book of Boba Fett, and then in Mando season three, Grogu's back with Mando, and
Mhm.
I don't know. I I don't know what to expect from it. Like, where's the Mando show going at this point, and what is the movie gonna do? Because I think right now I'm kind of more interested in a season two of Ahsoka and seeing more of Thrawn.
Right.
And that's not really gonna be in the Mandu, Mandu and Grogu timeline, really. Well, I guess it might be actually.
That's a
Maybe that might
fair.
be what it is.
That's a very fair assessment of it. I think I'm with you on that. Like, I think I might be a little Mando Grogu'd out as well. Especially again, like you said, with the and again, I don't want to start fires here, but yeah, with the disappointment of like the Book of Boba Fett and then them just kind of throwing them in there. And then that last season, I was just like, man, like, come on, guys. Like, it was going so well. But I just can't imagine what they can make a movie about that's going to kind of expand on their story, right? I mean, I'm sure they'll find something, but
Yeah,
it be,
for me, it'd be really cool if they, it's all a trilogy, right? And like Mando and Grogu is, the first movie of the trilogy, and maybe Heir to the Empire is the second one, and then there should be like a third one that wraps all like that universe up, and then hopefully we could get the, like the OGs to come back, like Han, Luke, Leia, Lando, and hopefully we could give them like a proper send off. Because, maybe it could be one of those things where if they do it right, maybe that could be our sequel trilogy. And anything after that, we don't have to we could put it in our mind that say that never happened. And we could say this is where it ends, right? Or they could kind of tie it perfectly with a sequel trilogy. I don't know. There's so many things. I feel right now, like with the movie being so far away, well, 2 years away, um, I'm hoping they take their time. They just kind of like go back to the drawing board and say, okay, let's do this right, guys. And I have faith in Favreau, just as long there's no one meddling in and say, hey, you got to add this, hey, you got to put this, and like, I don't know, add another Grogu type of character.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like a marketing character, right? Like to sell merchandise and
Yeah, because basically that's why. I mean, for me, that's the one of the reasons why they brought Grogu back in the Book of Boba. Because why would they spend all that time to send him off and then quickly bring him back?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense to me unless someone was like, "Hey, that's our cash cow. Don't send him."
That was a lost opportunity because technically they could have kept on going with Mando season 3 without Grogu. You didn't need him. Like he could have gone on some cool adventures and cool stuff, and they could have saved. Like they could have done like a mini series or like a mini show with Luke and Grogu.
Oh, dude,
learning, and that they could have expanded that little story. But I think what they should do, and again, my humble opinion, because admittingly, I was a prequel hater at the time, right? Again, when the prequels came out, I was already, 18, 19, 20, something like that, right? So I was already like, I was an adult, and I grew up on the original trilogy. So when episode 1 came out, I was one of those fans that was just like, oh my God, you're ruining Star Wars, like Jar Jar Binks talks in a Jamaican accent. Like I was one of those fans. And then episode 2 came out and I was even more heated. Like, what is this trash? Episode 3 came out and it calmed me down a little bit, but I was a prequel hater for a long time. What needs to happen is the reason why I became such a fan of the prequels was because of Clone Wars, was because of the treatment that they gave it afterwards to like expand on the characters, expand on the story, right? And now even, Ahsoka and all these shows gave me a better appreciation of the prequels. That's what probably needs to happen with the sequels, where they got to start like getting in there and expanding the story, and maybe by the end of it, they'll all make sense. And
they're trying, and it's taken a lot of shows to do it though. Like they've got Mando, Book of Boba Fett, Bad Batch, like they're all trying to intertwine all these newer shows into that, with introducing Project Necromancer into Bad Batch. So they're trying to make it all fit, and they're doing a decent job, but it's a slow burn.
Yeah, I agree. And for me, like I still like the prequels just because it's Star Wars, it's George Lucas, and it was his story that made me really like the prequels. Unfortunately, George is not known for his screenplay writing, and maybe his directing. Obviously the best movies in Star Wars weren't really directed by him, including Rogue One. Rogue One is going up in people's like top 3 or top 5 Star Wars movies of all time.
Yeah.
And that movie wasn't even really directed by him.
Yeah.
So he's a good storyteller. The only thing with me was that like I just wish that there was someone else that directed those movies or even wrote the screenplay, because some of those, I mean, we all make fun of it. Like, I hate sand. Like, like, okay.
Yeah.
They're like, okay.
I wish someone at the time had the cojones to just, stand up to George, say no, you can't do that, like this wouldn't work. And there just was nobody at the time, apparently.
Yeah, I think in the beginning too, there was his wife, right, Gabe? Right, that kind of like was like Marsha Lucas.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some more input, I think, with the original trilogy, but I think with the prequels, there was like it's like his way or the high.
Oh, exactly.
But it's funny that you're talking about like Rogue One and all that. It just reminded me. So I'm not like I used to love wrestling, but obviously with the whole WrestleMania thing,
everyone's
all over
talking
social media, right? My friend that's a huge wrestling fan just sent me a little interview, and he's like, check this out, Corey Rhodes' story is better than Star Wars. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I click on the interview, and it's this interview with this guy and with Cody Rhodes, and they're talking about Star Wars. And then he's like, yeah, like, my story is like Return of the Jedi. And they start talking about like, the movies. And he says like, my number 1 movie is Empire Strikes Back. He's like, but my number 2 favorite movie, and he's like, and I know it's not Rogue One, because that's the last on my list. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. Last one. And then he says his second one is The Last Jedi. And I like turned it off, and I like texted my friend. I'm like, why are you sending me this trash? I had some respect for that guy. And now you tell me Rogue One is on the bottom and The Last Jedi is number 2 after Empire? Like, no.
I'm gonna pull that interview up. I've been exposed to so much Cody Rhodes over the last year. Like, he did interviews with like Dale Earnhardt Jr. and stuff. And so I actually watched WrestleMania this last weekend just because I saw so much of Cody Rhodes being advertised over the year.
So the interviews by this guy Robbie Fox.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch WrestleMania, but everyone's talking about it. I saw clips of it because, for me, and not to, divert away from Star Wars talk too much, but I always loved the Attitude Era for WWE, right? To me, that was the best like stories that we got out of that era. Plus, you got WCW, Nitro, and the whole Monday Night Raw versus Nitro. I used to remember like, sitting on my couch, I'm like, I don't know what to do, man. Like, there is Nitro, there's like, NWO, like, I don't know. It's like, what should I do? But I'm kind of glad that WrestleMania did well, and like the wrestling fans are back and excited about the, some of the storylines that's coming out. Especially, just in the past like, month or so, I've been noticing. I'm kind of hoping that Star Wars is in the same boat. But yeah, no, I totally agree with you guys. And I know Rockaman Chris said, they want to like, they should really like reboot the whole thing. It's going to be hard. I think they're just committed already. So they're trying. I can see that they're trying to, fix it. Again, for me to totally fix it is fix the character of Luke Skywalker in the sequel by saying that's the clone, and make Rey really a Palpatine, where she turns bad, like really deep down inside, even though she's trying to be good. Deep down inside,
they gotta make Finn a Jedi, or at least very Force sensitive.
Make Finn a Jedi, and the whole time it's like them two fighting throughout the whole like Rey.
I could get down with that.
That'd be cool. Like and then it's like Rey tricked Luke again, right?
Yeah.
Or something, but
because like honestly, if you really think about it, there's no Skywalkers left except for Rey, but that she said herself that she's a Skywalker, which trust me, she's not. She's a Palpatine. So basically, Palpatine still won the whole time.
I killed the Skywalkers.
Exactly. dude, there's no Skywalkers, and there's a Palpatine who's saying she's a Skywalker. I don't know about you guys, but I
There's an
think
imbalance in the Force.
yeah, I think Palpatine won.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Oh, how
speaking of,
dare you say that as an Anakin fan, though?
I
Anakin was the
know
chosen one.
he is still to me the chosen one, but man, there's no one left except for Rey, and she's a Palpatine by blood.
I mean, to be fair, she did absorb Ben Solo's life force, and he was a Skywalker.
Ah, yeah. No, I know, but we'll see. I really hope that I think to make people love Rey, I think they gotta just go out of the norm and just make her a bad guy. I know she's like, like quote unquote, like
Yeah.
Disney's
Dark
like
Side Rey.
dark
Make it
side
happen.
Rey, make it happen.
Down for that.
And by the way, if you guys haven't yet checked out Gabe's review on the Dark Side Ray lightsaber by EFX, please do. I was actually really shocked when he said that was like I think the best collectible you got last year.
It was honestly like because like last year it wasn't like a big year for for prop replicas.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, the Dark Ray lightsaber came out. I think the Luke Mandalorian lightsaber, and I'm just talking about the licensed stuff, right? Of course.
Yeah.
And then Regal Robot came out with the gaffy sticks, right? But that's about it. I mean, a couple little maquettes and things like that, but like big prop replicas, only the gaffy stick and that. And it was gonna be the gaffy stick because I'm like, dude, it's a New Hope. I love that scan from the original. But they sent me that lightsaber like I don't know, maybe like a week or two before that, and I was even hesitant to even accept it because I was like I'm like what am I really gonna do here? Like I'm just gonna show it, and I'm like normally when I get stuff in, I'm excited to get it, and it's genuinely like excited to put something in my collection. That was the first one that I was just like, ooh, that's gonna feel really like like very like commercially, like I'm just trying to sell it for them because I'm not interested in it. But then I got it and I was like, holy crap. And like I started like messing with it, started seeing like the weathering, the coloring on it, and then just like kind of putting it back and like looking at it, it has like all these elements of like Darth Vader's lightsaber. So like the front part of it, I don't remember what they're called, but it has that same like square with like the little like latch, and I mean it basically looks like the tip of Darth Vader's lightsaber. And then it also reminded me of like the canisters, like the IG-88 canisters.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring it out, but it's right behind me somewhere right there. But it ended up being just such a cool lightsaber, and I ended up just again I was gonna put it back in the box and just put it away, but I'm like, no, I got a top made for it, and I was like, man, this thing is beautiful, man. So if anything out of The Last Jedi, that's it. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah, no, the thing too is that like I kind of wish we got more screen time of Darkseid Rey. I think it's a very interesting character because it's just not something we're used to, right, or exposed to. So it'll be really cool. I'm hoping, in the Rey movie, like she goes dark, but we shall see. Speaking of,
it would have been nice.
Speaking of dark, Acolyte's coming out, and apparently it's getting so much hate. I don't know. Are you guys excited for the Acolyte? And why is it getting so much hate recently? I don't know why.
I'm excited. Yeah. I mean, you're probably gonna open up a little can of worms with with your viewers here, but I mean, just in general, right? I think a lot of people, because we talked about this on Collection Wars, right?
Yeah.
And it's always funny to see that because PJ, I mean, Michael and my co-host, and me and Michael are very, very opposite in a lot of ways, right? Whether it's politically, in a lot of ways, but we love Star Wars and we vibe together really well. But we had that conversation, and I think the biggest thing is like, again, they keep on saying that like Disney's shoving like this agenda on the fans and like trying to like there's not. I guess there's not like any like white males like lead actors in the show, and there's a lot of that talk, which I mean, how can you get that just from a 1 minute trailer, 2 minute trailer? And it's also because I guess the director was making a lot of like
comments about males,
about like inserting it and the Force is female and all that stuff, and I could see how that could rub someone the wrong way. But my whole thing was like, look, we're not gonna like. There's tons of directors out there that we don't agree with, whether their politics or their views or whatever. But as long as the story is good and the characters are good, that's all that really matters. And you can't tell that by a 2-minute trailer. So wait,
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I mean, like, I was kind of shocked when there was like all these like videos online, right? And I know the director made some comments, but first of all, I kind of wish these directors would just be quiet.
James Gunn.
For me, I'm a huge fan of Dennis. No, I forgot how you say his last name.
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, he directed Dune 2, right? And Dune 1, obviously.
Yeah.
Dude,
and Sicario.
Oh my gosh, and Blade Runner.
He's like one of my favorite new and Arrival was amazing too.
Oh,
Arrival! Just saw that for the first time. Yeah,
I mean, he just doesn't say anything, and he just makes like really good movies, and he lets his like work speaks for himself. Like, and I kind of wish like these directors would just say nothing. Like, I don't want to hear anything of what you think, or just tell us a good story. That's it. That's all we want. And I'm still gonna give Acolyte a second chance, or not even chance, or just second chance, a chance. And we'll see. We'll see. Hoping it's not only her that's directing. There's all these different directors, just like Mando and Book of Boba. So it'll be interesting to see how this show plays out. And I'm hoping that there's a lot of Jedis that die. Obviously, because I'm a dark side guy. But Doc,
I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know if I'm excited. I'm certainly I'm interested. I've been burned by Star Wars a lot lately, so I'm kind of just like watching with interest, but I'm easy when it comes to sci-fi. Like I really don't care who the main character is, what they look like, as long as it's a good story, it's compelling, it's somewhat believable, even if I have to suspend belief a little bit, or suspend disbelief, I can totally get by a lot of things, like character design choices or whatever. So to me, I excited. I don't know yet, but we'll see. I'm waiting and seeing. What I am excited about though is just seeing something slightly different. Right? It's set back a little bit before the actual like current timeline that we're on, even though some ways that it'll probably still be connected through legacy characters that are around at that time. Like I believe mention of Yoda being in there and stuff. We'll probably see some people's masters, if you will. So there'll be some connection to this like original trilogy saga. But so that I could say I'm excited about. Like what are we gonna see that is planting the seeds for like little Easter eggs that we can appreciate in the prequel trilogies and things like that. So and also I think the chick who plays Weapon X is in the Daphne. She plays that weird looking red face character. Excited to see her and her performance in the show. And also isn't Trinity in this as well? Yeah.
See, all these characters, I hope they get killed by. They're all
first dead. Episode. They're all dead.
I know. Sorry, guys. I'm a dark side guy, so please, don't mind me.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Man.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on. What's with for me? I love the dark side because they just look cooler. I mean, I'm looking at the Jedi robes here. I'm like, come on. I'm excited. We'll see what. Yeah, like you guys said, like it's good. It's Star Wars content. I'm excited to see what they say. Honestly, like I said, I wish these directors won't say anything anymore. Just do your job and do the best you can. I'll give you an example. With aliens, like in some of those '80s movies, right? We didn't know. I don't know about you guys. When I first watched Alien, I didn't know
Mhm.
Sigourney Weaver is going to be the main. And how awesome was
Right.
that? And here
Oh
we
my god.
are,
I've loved Sigourney Weaver ever
Weaver.
since I saw that movie. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not like, okay, it can't. We're not like here and we're against women being main lead characters. We just want good storytelling. That's it.
Yeah. Do it
Just
right.
tell a
Yeah,
good, do it
do it
right.
right.
And you'd be surprised what the reaction is from the audience. And I think using Alien and Aliens and all the Alien trilogy or the series itself, you can see that it was well done, organic, and it was now she's
Well,
like
and
one
then
of
look
the.
at like Sarah Connor. She went from a
Oh yeah,
waitress
Sarah
to a
Connor.
machine killer. So
Yep.
I mean, like,
And she got like all these muscles and she kicked
yeah.
butt. Like
Well,
she was such a strong female lead character in the Terminator movie.
Well, I think
So
even Ray had a lot of potential, right? Like I think
mhm,
Ray could have been a really cool character. I mean, because even after
mhm.
the Force Awakens, I was a fan. Like I was like,
Mhm.
dude, this is awesome. Especially
Yeah, me too.
that last scene, right, where she's like, and then grabs the lightsaber. I'm like, yeah, that's so cool. So like, it had a lot of potential, but then, obviously,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
then the next
yeah.
came out.
Then it went. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So yeah, let's talk about some collectibles now. Let's talk about some bounty pickups. Gabe, we'll start off with you, man. Any recent bounty pickups? Usually I know because I watch your videos and I'm like, oh man, that's pretty cool. Like, so.
Yeah. What's come in? Obviously, obviously, recently the Regal
Mm,
Robot Wampa, right? Like that's probably one of my
mhm.
newest things, and those are starting to ship out to other customers. So, got the Wampa.
Yeah.
Love that thing. Obviously, this guy just also came out right from Regal Robot, the maquette.
Yeah.
Um, and then what else? Klaatu.
Yeah, I was gonna say Klaatu. I was gonna start saying I don't know if you watched Evil Dead. Klaatu, Narata. Remember that like we says those words. Anyway, the Necron. I'm an Evil
Mhm.
Dead fan, so never mind.
All right.
uh,
Yeah, I think. I mean, besides that, like I've been getting like just like little stuff. Like I picked up, those statues that are in the. It's actually when it's still Senator Palpatine.
mhm.
The ones that they used to sell at the Disney parks, like the little.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
just barely picked those up, and it was always something that I wanted. Like I would
Mhm.
go to Disneyland and be like, man, I'm gonna buy those, but I think they were like. I don't remember. I think they're like $80 or something, but you had to buy two of them. So it was like 160. And I was like, I don't know if I want them that much. But this weekend we went to this like Disney employee store
Mm.
because my sister-in-law works for Pixar. So she gets all
Oh
these
wow,
deals
nice.
and stuff. And so we printed out the flyer and we went and they had the full set for $30. So I was like,
Oh.
okay, I'm buying that. And I'm so
Mhm.
glad I did because it's actually really cool. You know what I'm talking about? Here, let me bring a couple. But
Y-
it's like these little guys.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they even light up, the little bases light up. Let's see if I can get it to light.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Cool. Like they just look like little bronze
Mhm.
statues.
Mhm.
But again, like I was always hesitant to get them at the park just because I was like, there's you got to buy two sets to get all four of them, and I'm like,
Mhm.
they're not really replicas. They're just they're not
No,
the
but they
same
look cool,
size.
man.
But yeah, I
Mhm.
mean and these are just two of them. There's four of them. But yeah,
Did,
that's
did you
pretty
get I think you got it right. The Jabba the Hutt.
the popcorn bucket. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's making it such a big deal out of it. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna zoom.
What? Oh my god!
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's better than the Dune bucket.
Oh my gosh,
That's
dude.
at the park.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
And then you
that's
close it.
cool.
Oh, dude. By the way, I'm going to Disneyland next month, so
I
I'm
want
definitely
that.
taking
Yeah. I actually just posted because like I have a bunch of the Star Wars like buckets, like the
Yeah,
popcorn
I saw
bucket.
you posted, right?
I posted that. I'm like, I got like the
And
Han Solo and Carbonite bucket, the popcorn bucket.
I'm not allowed to have
And
any
then
more popcorn buckets.
they're selling these, but I weathered mine, of course, to make it look more
I have
really
that
cool.
one when I went to Disney World.
Yeah.
Is it hard to get? Is there a good amount of those Jabba the Hutt? Will it be available? Let's just say, will it be available when I go there next month?
I think so. I mean, even just we went on Sunday, and there was a pretty big line, but we got through the line maybe like in like 15 minutes, and they had it, and they keep on bringing them out. So I'm sure they have
Tons of them.
So, and I'm sure by in a month they'll have a whole new restock and everything.
How much are those popcorn buckets?
I think it was like I'm gonna say $40 or something like that.
Yeah, I heard they were selling twice as much on like eBay. Like people were like selling them. They're like 80, $100. I'm like
I'm surprised
wow.
they haven't made the canister that Mando carries around with you have it behind you right now into a popcorn bucket.
Oh,
Oh,
the the what's that called?
The Camtono.
The Camtono.
Yeah, there you go.
That's smart. Yeah, there you go, man. They should make that into
free ideas, Disney.
There you go.
Yeah. Awesome.
It'll
man.
be the popcorn bucket for Mando and Grogu.
I love what they're doing too with AMC. They're really making they're really pushing a lot of those popcorn buckets because the Dune 2, I don't know if you guys saw that one. I don't know. That looked
best marketing gimmick.
It's like okay, all right. But I watched the Ghostbusters 2 one and I got the trap. So I thought that was pretty cool. I got that from AMC. All right. Well, congrats on your bounty pickups. Doc, anything recently Star Wars related?
Yeah, recently I got Hot Toys Attack of the Clone Padme and Commander Fox.
How do you like the Padme?
I like her a lot. I regret not buying 2 because I want to modify a second one and make her into the battle damage one.
Oh, nice.
I didn't realize she was gonna sell out so quickly after releasing, but
yeah, it's crazy.
Great figure, so I should have known, and I should have known a lot of people were gonna probably get more than one to potentially do customizations. So, but yeah, I'm happy with the way she came out. That's my favorite version of Padme is from Attack of the Clone, I'm sure as everyone else.
Oh yeah, me too.
So, right. And then Commander Fox from the Clone Wars, got him recently, and still waiting on some super battle droids and a couple other things, and the ATRT to release. But yeah, a lot of releases, but I haven't actually gotten any. I'm still waiting like the Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader and
I heard people haven't gotten them in. Yeah.
So, I'm just worried I'm gonna get invoiced for them all at once, and
All right. Well, congrats, man, on your Hot Toys bounty pickups. Padme is really cool. I wish I picked one up because I'm getting the Anakin Attack of the Clones one. I know I'm out of Hot Toys, but I think I'm just collecting only certain ones.
Right. Yeah, those are 2 you kind of had to have if you want to have like a representation of like each movie.
Yeah. So, all right. Now in terms for me, I've been really good because I'm gonna be spending a lot of money in Philadelphia Fan Expo because I got a whole bunch of I'm gonna get a whole bunch of autographs there. They got a whole, I think I talked about it in the last stream. I think Hayden's going, Rosario's going. I think Cameron Monaghan from the last not the last Jedi, Jedi Survivor. Who else is going? There's a whole bunch, man. So I'm gonna get Gina Carano. So I'm gonna try and get their autographs. I got this T-shirt from. I think I'll put it in the thing. This cool. It's in the bio here. Let me try to put it up here, guys, for you guys. So it is Rebel Scum artapparel.com. I'll put the link in the chat right now. They do amazing work. And if you use code SITCAST15, you get 15% off your purchase. So I got this. I thought it was really cool. You know, it just says Rebel.
Yeah, it's kind of like a play on the rebel without a cause.
Yeah, dude.
Slogan
So
is, and yeah.
yeah, please guys check out their website. They do amazing work. Also, please
Yeah, they
check
had a
out.
backpack. I think you posted a couple days ago, or maybe I saw like a reel of this backpack from them, and it was really
Mhm.
cool. Like you could, like stuff like a blanket in there, and it like
Mhm.
had this really cool like liner. So if you do bring it into the parks, like you can like stuff a bunch of stuff in there, like lightsabers, and it had like a lightsaber holder on it. And I was like, hell yeah, I need that. But I
Yeah,
think it was like $140.
Yeah.
I got
Also,
the I got the
I'm
one
sorry.
that's the Shin Haiti one, the like
Oh yeah,
the one that looks like Taylor Swift.
I
Oh,
got that one too. Because can I say I saw you wearing it, and I'm like, because Shin Hottie obviously is like my
oh yeah.
Star Wars crush right now. She's a
Yeah,
hottie, right?
yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
I was like,
So
it's a little on the nose to be calling her Shin Hottie.
I know, right? Like, really? It was like, oh, what's your last name gonna be? Hottie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I saw you wearing it, so I was like, I picked one up too. So I was like, yeah, I gotta have that. So yeah, they do a really good job with some of their designs. Like, man, really good job. So please check them out. Use code SITCAST15 for 15% off. Also, we got Crystal Kyber in the house. Please check out her company, Bad Feeling. She's got this really cool punk rockish t-shirt
Love
called
that.
Hutzlair. And I love it. And it looks really cool. It has like punk rock theme to which I absolutely love, right? I know Gabe, you're a big punk rock fan as well.
Yeah, man. Any T-shirt that's like that brings Star Wars and punk, like that Misfits one, right? That I wear.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, I
So
love that.
yeah, please check her out. I'll put her website as well down in the description. So yeah, so that's basically Gabe, I think I mentioned to you I'm going to Disneyland next month. Hopefully we can meet up. Um and I'm gonna be going a little crazy. It's been a while since I actually been to Disneyland. I've been to Disney World a lot, but the last time I've been to Disneyland, I think I was like 8 years old.
Oh,
So because to me, like, Disney World's right there. It's a little closer to home, closer to New Jersey. So I usually go there. But I'm excited, man. Like, I know you've been posting a lot from that from Disneyland.
Yeah.
So like I said, hopefully we can meet up. I'm going to the Nintendo Land as well.
Yeah.
So and that's basically it. There's really not much because I think right now I'm kind of like waiting to see like how this Star Wars collectible storm pans out because there's so many things that's in the works being released. And Gabe, I'm sure you know this, PCS, they do amazing statue, and Doc, you know them as well. They do like some of the Ghostbuster stuff. They got the Star Wars license for 1/3 scale, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. What's crazy? I mean, me and you chatted about this, but like, so I'm in communications with like, the Lucasfilm rep that handles all the licenses, and he picks my brain. That's why I work with like EFX and Regal Robot.
Yeah.
But I had known about this for a little while now.
Oh wow.
What the heck? And he's like, can't say anything, but I can't wait to see what they come up with. I mean, I can't spoil it, but I might be going up there real soon for an event, and hopefully I get to see some of the stuff. So because I'm sure they'll already have some of the prototypes.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see, man. We'll see. The only thing is, I'm not a statue collector though, so like I was excited for the statue collectors just because that's just another option, right? Especially 1/3 scale. But
yeah, well, and you've seen some of their work, right? And what I'm excited about, yes, they have the license, I guess, for 1/3 scale Star Wars statues. But they're making some busts too. And let me just pull up some of I think, we talked about it in the last live stream, but they make this Maximum Carnage. Right? I know it's Marvel, but they're making a Darth Vader like oh man, where is that? Here it is. They're making a Darth Vader like bust in this like fine like almost like artistic type of bust, right? So this is it. So you can see there's a whole bunch of like designs and characters in this bust.
Oh wow, yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, what will they do with the Darth Vader bust in this form? Like, are they going to add like Anakin and some other things? So it's really exciting because I collect a lot of statues, right? I kind of collect everything, mostly statues though. But it's cool to see a company like PCS because to me, I think they were the statue company of the year last year because they did such amazing work. So to see what they're going to produce. I know Blitzway, and I don't know if you could chime in this one, Gabe, but they're also making a Black Label Star Wars product.
Yeah,
You know,
that wasn't. Yeah, I don't know about that.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
don't think they've said much.
they said much, but they saw like it's like almost
Yeah,
like a lightsaber
right.
blade that was in the thing. And I'm curious to see what they do if they did get the Star Wars license, or
Yeah.
maybe it's a limited type of license where they can only sell to certain things. But yeah, no, there's a lot of things that's coming our way in terms of collectibles.
Yeah.
So
I haven't
really really
seen that
exciting.
Blitzway. What does Blitzway usually make? Like smaller toys?
No, they make statues. Let me show. So they're
Yeah, they
making,
primarily have moved into statues in the last few years. So they used to
yeah.
make a lot of 6 scale stuff.
So recently, one of their famous like Black Label statues, right, is, hold on, if I could, I'm pulling it up right now. Oh, what? Hold on. Is the Michael Jackson Black Label? Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Oh, they're the ones that they're the ones that do like the super like hyper realistic ones? Like
Yeah, it's kind of like hyper realistic. They're not like the J&D statue ones, right? Where so let's see. Let me share this screen right now. So supposedly they're making like Star Wars, you know. So here's the Black Label. So it's gonna be like rooted hair. I wish I could find that post where they, right. So looks really cool.
wow.
Yeah, and it's very limited. Let me see if I could pull up the Blitzway Facebook post that when they kind of like teased that.
I mean, they have the Disney license, so it makes sense that they would get the
yeah.
Star Wars one.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too because I know sometimes when some of these companies to get the license, sometimes it's only limited to maybe Asia or certain countries.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to look for it.
Yeah, well, especially if they don't want to step on like obviously because Sideshow makes the premium format line, right? So then if they gave this license to Blitzway, I think it would have to be carved out so they're not stepping on the other, holders, right?
Yeah, I think I might have found it. Hold on one second. It was very like and Doc, you saw it too, right? It was very like general. Here it is.
Yeah, it was just like almost a nothing burger, but like enough to cause excitement though. That's for sure.
Here.
But yeah, I'm not a statue collector, but the right statue comes out, and I could definitely start falling down that dark side.
Yeah, so it's got the Star Wars crawl. I mean, that's a pretty recognizable crawl, and this is what also they teased. So it's really interesting what they are trying to do if they do have the license. I mean, I don't know. That mean to me, why should be like
a 1/3 scale Obi-Wan Kenobi
or 1/3 scale Ray, and then yeah.
But is the Black Label like? Is it a specific like size or is it like
it doesn't have the size. Yeah.
Matt, like
Yeah, it's not definitely. I don't think it's like a premium format size. It's definitely not quarter scale.
hmm,
Let me go back to the Michael Jackson, and
hmm,
it really doesn't say much. What kind of size is it? I mean, this is 235 millimeters, or I mean, height is 575 millimeters. I'm not sure. It could
yeah.
be like 1/3 scale. I'm yeah, I'm not sure.
Huh.
Oh, approximately 22.6 inches tall.
So maybe that's about
That'd be about 1/3.
1/3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah, usually quarter scale is somewhere around 17 to 19 inches, just depending on the size of the reference.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, far from this, PCS for the license, but no thanks to 1/3. If anything, I will get a 1/3 Vader if it's amazing. I mean, for me, like I know some of their Ghostbusters like likenesses are really like pretty spot on in how they look. So if they do some really good face sculpts, it'll be really interesting
Hmm.
what they come out with. Some other releases in terms of like collectibles. I know. Um, Doc, do you collect like art prints?
A little bit here and there, not too frequently though, just because what I want to do is get to a point where I can hang up art and then rotate the art out like occasionally. So,
Yeah,
but the hard part is actually going and getting them framed to hang up. So I have a
I
few
know.
art prints, but they've been in their tubes for so long, I forgot that I've had some of them.
Yeah,
So I try not to buy them anymore.
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Honestly, maybe it was a blessing in disguise for me to miss this release, but
yeah,
I was
that's
so
cool.
mad. I was in the meeting, and then when I got out of the meeting, I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me? It's 12:30," and then I logged in; they were sold out.
Yeah.
But Gabe, what do you think about these art prints? It's from Pablo
Yeah,
Oliveira.
Oliveira. Yeah, I've seen he's done some really good like Blade Runner prints. Like
Mm-hmm.
he does some really good stuff. Yeah, I love these. These are great. I mean, that siege on the Jedi Temple red,
Temple.
like
Oh yeah.
beautiful. Like that's it.
Dude, that was that's why I wanted these prints. I mean, I like the Jedi Council one,
Hmm.
because it is done so well. But damn, I
You can
missed it.
feel their judgment.
See,
Yeah,
I always I'm kind of the same way as Doc. Like I I try to avoid buying anything that because they just sit in their in their
the
rolls
tubes.
and
Mhm.
yeah in the tubes. But I did just this last week, and they just got here yesterday. I ended up
Mm.
getting the 3 prequel bus shelter posters. So the episode 1 is the one with Queen Amidala.
Oh, nice.
Wait, no, what does it say? It says I think something hope something on the side, and then the episode 2 one shows Anakin and Padme like with their like she's with the gun and he's like in fighting stance, and then the last one is that classic like Darth Vader red background where like his hand is kind of coming out of the poster. I don't know,
Yeah.
episode 3 one. But yeah, I picked those up for super cheap. It was like all 3 of them. The guy sold them to me for $200.
Oh,
They're
nice.
massive. They're
Yeah.
for all 3 like together. Massive, dude. I think it's like 4 by 6 feet or something like that.
Holy crap! They're like
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they
it's
got to
like
go
close
on
to.
those marquees for the bus stops.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And they're just gonna sit now in their gigantic tube because the tube is like 7 feet tall. Like it's
Wow.
freaking huge. So now they're probably just gonna sit there for years in my garage.
Gabe, Obi's asking who made those.
The which one? The prints?
Yeah.
Like these? Pablo
Oh,
Pablo Oliveira?
no, the ones that you got.
Oh, the bus shelters? I
Yeah.
mean, they're just Lucasfilm promotions. They're promotion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're promotional posters. Yeah, let me see if I could. Oh, I guess I can't share it, but
Mhm.
I'll show you a picture of it real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted the episode 1. That one's the one that I like. I
Mhm.
love that poster. And in fact, it's just because it's huge, it's massive. Maybe see if I could. This guy on Facebook sold them to me. And there's like I'm in this poster group.
I know. I gotta stop buying prints, but I can't. They look so good.
I mean, no, man.
And I'm like, I have like a bunch of tubes. I'm like, okay, I'm just collecting tubes now. He goes, oh, bus shelters, gotcha. Okay. So while you're pulling that up, I'm gonna just pull up some stuff here. Yeah, so I missed out on those prints, but
So here's
yeah.
one of them.
All right, let me zoom in on you. Oh wow, holy crap.
One love, one quest. But look at
Dude, that's beautiful.
That's a yardstick right there. So that's 3 feet right there. So it's 6 feet by 4 feet. And that's the episode 1. That's the episode 3 one.
Oh shoot.
And then that's
oh my goodness.
But I'm telling you, they're massive posters. So but I really just wanted the Amidala one. Like that's the one that I was like, oh my god! Like,
the Amidala one is beautiful
because it's simple and it's just her. It says episode 1.
The Bob Marley estate didn't sue them for the One Love tagline.
I know, right? You would think One Love, One Quest.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Congrats, man. Those are nice posters. And they're you're right.
The episode 2 one's awesome looking too.
I think I'm with Gabe. I love the episode 1. That one. The episode 2 is cool too, but episode 1.
Well, yeah, I'm impartial.
I'm like a Queen Amidala fan, so
especially my wife to let me put it out somewhere in the house. Like, can't take Amidala poster.
I know. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Gabe. Congrats, man. That's a great pickup. All right, we'll just talk about Hot Toys real quick. I know they just released some couple. I know this got some controversy because they were like, "Why is Anakin looking so nice? Like a really nice guy."
He looks pleasant.
He looks very pleasant.
Like ultra light side Anakin.
like super duper light side Anakin. I don't know, Gabe. I know you don't really collect Hot Toys, but what's your thoughts on like the likeness of this portrait?
I mean, it looks like Hayden Christensen to me. I'm like, it looks like, but just like it was a weird choice to go. It almost looks like he's posing for like a romance novel. You know, it is. I mean, it is awkward, and I could definitely see I see a lot of just Star Wars fans out there, like all the. A lot of girls out there like, oh my god, he's so dreamy. I'm like,
but it's funny because it's like he's got the lightsaber. Is he like, like you won't get intimidated with him. Wielding that lightsaber. Like, okay, what's he gonna do? Is he just gonna show me a magic trick, or is he gonna really kill someone with that?
Right.
How about you, Doc? Is this something I know you're a Hot Toys collector. Is this something you're adding to your collection? Oh my gosh! Really, look at this pose.
So first, I want to say, I love it because it looks just like his appearance on the show. It's perfect for that regard. I actually have the Anakin on staff already, so same Clone Wars armor and everything. Maybe this one's a little bit more saturated in color. The maroon looks a little bit more vibrant on this outfit, but I really just want the head sculpt. Bob Dylan, I know I'll give him all the credit too, because Bob Dylan came up with some pretty funny ideas for using this head sculpt for other things. But I like calling this homeowner association president Anakin. Just put like a little turtleneck around him, a little sweater, and he just looks like he's gonna yell at you for having your bushes grown too high and things like that. So,
oh my gosh.
I love it. I really want to try and look out for just the head sculpt, but I have a feeling with the production numbers being much lower these days, it's probably worth it to just buy the whole thing outright. But I really just want the head sculpt to do stupid stuff with and not even have it in the Star Wars collection.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like in terms of the likeness of this character, it's like almost like a perfect 10, right? Because that's how he looked. When he was talking to Ahsoka, but in terms of a figure, you're very limited with the poses that you could come with. Like, I mean, he doesn't look he doesn't look like he's attacking any droids with this pose. He looks like he's just, he's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like, please, vote for me for student council or something.
That's right, Bob.
Yeah, great
Student
head sculpt.
counselor.
Great, yeah. Like I mean, great portrait. Looks like him. Really looks like
Yeah.
him.
Okay,
Just
young Padawan, how are you doing in your lessons?
yeah.
You're
Okay.
falling behind in force sensitivity training.
I know it looks great, but yeah. As much as I'm an Anakin fan, I'm not sure if I would add that to my collection. I don't know. We shall see. But I will definitely add this one, guys. I don't know about you, but hotel collection. I mean, Dark Side perfume. It's called
I was like, what am I
Ooh,
looking at?
Uda Sith scent.
You
Yeah.
too can smell like a Nerf herder.
It's funny.
Yeah.
What's funny is that this company
Mhm.
reached out to me to
Yes, I was
promote.
gonna ask you about this, Gabe,
Mhm.
and I was hoping I'm kind of curious.
Oh.
So,
Yeah,
have
no,
you?
I didn't accept. I didn't do it because they
Oh.
with certain ones like
Mhm.
man, like I already got in some heat like promoting the Crypt toys, like, and it was like officially licensed Star Wars these toys. But
Mhm.
man, I got so much hatred for those, man. So I'm like, now I gotta be like really picky about like if
Mhm.
they better pay me if I'm gonna, if I'm gonna promote, not just send me like the little free things.
I know because you kind of want to smell like. I mean, Dark Side car diffuser. Like, what does it smell like? And
Yeah.
please, guys, don't say like burnt Jedi. Like
Let me
like
see what they're gonna send me. I'll tell you.
they also have like it's kind of weird what they have. Like I didn't know they had the dual room spray.
Yeah,
Like
hey. The
52
force
reviews and
room
they're all
spray.
5 stars here. You got the deluxe Sith candle. Oh, okay.
Does one of them smell like sand? I hate sand.
I hate sand.
This is
Yeah,
their
really cool concept.
this is
Yeah.
there are things like really exciting news. Out of 1 million influencers that have searched through, we selected you to be a part.
Mhm.
I guess they were gonna send I guess a luxury something company. I don't know. They were gonna send $500 worth of product and be paid $500, total $750, which and again, it's like we got to send you to Disney to get approved for that, which I've already been approved. But I was like, man, like think about it. Think about it. Like in my feed, like how would I make that? Like how like
You just okay. We could put it. You get out of the shower. You're like,
Uh-huh.
oh yeah, man, I'm feeling feeling dark today, and you start
well, I
spraying
think
like
this one
some
was for the room like scent
the
thing, right?
scent.
Like yeah. So I'm like, imagine like me in my room. I'm like, I'm bringing out like, hey, so check out this new like aroma like thing. Like,
Scent.
get it.
Hmm.
I'm like,
It's quite
man,
pungent. Ever watch Anchorman? Hmm. It's quite pungent.
right?
Stings the nostrils. I'm not gonna
60%
lie
of
to
the
you,
time,
Gabe.
it works every time.
It's 6% of the times it works
That's
every.
what I should have put. See, man, Doc does come with the best
Yeah, Doc, you
ideas,
gotta be in
man.
marketing,
Oh, I
man.
can't take credit for that. That was the writer's A.
No, but I mean that would have been hilarious for me to do that.
60% of the time works every time. Yeah, no, I mean, curious to see how that really smells like. And what else? In terms of product, I know another Hot Toys just got the released as well. Just really quick to talk about this, and then we'll talk about the new Tales of the Empire. We got this one that just got released. It's just a Hot Toys clean version of the 501st Battalion Troopers from I guess it was from the Kenobi show. So, Doc, I know you're a Hot Toys collector. Are you picking this up or?
No, I actually missed this one. This one went waitlist a little early before I was like, they made the decision for me.
Mhm,
Not so much though interested in picking up. Most of my 501st are from the Clone Wars version, so their blue is a little bit darker on this. But
mhm,
this blue is actually growing on me a little bit. And from what I've seen and read lately, this blue is actually probably more accurate to the way they looked in Revenge of the Sith as well, according to the 501st members. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of a little sad that I missed it, and I also wanted to maybe get it to customize a Captain or a Commander Hauser for
Yeah.
Bad Batch. So I'm sure eventually I might be able to get it down the road, but right now, yeah, that one's not coming home.
Yeah. And Gabe, what do you think about the figure itself?
I mean, that's a really. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I know you don't like Hot Toys, but
No,
it looks pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I've one hot toy. I have the Mandalorian. What's the C J? What is it? Not J2SO. that J.
The
K2SO.
K2SO?
Yeah, but like
Oh, okay.
the
Oh
Imperial one.
yeah,
The
I saw
Enforcer
that
droid.
one.
The
Yeah,
Enforcer
Yeah,
I
droid.
got that one too.
yeah, I
Yeah,
missed that one.
He's a giant tuning fork. Like
yeah.
you tap on him and his legs are doing.
Oh yeah. Well, that
Yeah.
thing, even just to like set it up, I was just like, do I pose it? No, I think I'm just gonna leave it as is.
No, I think you just gotta leave it like that. I think that's a great looking, especially when to put it in your desk, right? I like having like a lot of like Star Wars collectibles on my desk, so that's a nice looking figure. I think it's sold out now, so
Oh, is it? Okay.
yeah, I think it's kind of expensive, right?
They've been really clamping down on how many they make of stuff,
Oh.
Yeah, so just to
which
have
is
it hold,
reasonable.
which is good too. It kind of holds their
Yeah.
value, and you're not overproducing and ruining the the collectible of it, the collectability of it, I guess you could say.
Right.
Okay.
Well, trash.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple of things to talk about and we'll wrap things up. Tales of the Empire. I know this is actually really shocking that they released this, like they're releasing this. Gabe, what's your thoughts on this? Like, I mean, this was like a real shock to me.
I can't wait, man. This is right up my, especially with like Tales of the Jedi were like, to me, were like really cool. I was like, man, they really got to do more of these. And as soon as I saw this, because it was unexpected, like you said, like I don't think anyone was expecting especially about the Empire. I immediately was like, what? Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's following two different storylines. One was Morgan's Elsbeth, and the other one is, oh my gosh, I forgot.
Barriss Offee.
Barriss Offee. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
how could I forget that name? Right? Because we always wonder what the hell happened to her after, Clone Wars, right? I don't think we saw her in like any animated.
Right, we just saw that she was arrested for bombing the temple, and then just never hear from her again.
Yeah, and you kind of see like how the Inquisitors were made. Obviously, they were former Jedi at some point, and they just kind of like brainwashed them into becoming like Sith Inquisitors. How about you, Doc? What are your thoughts on this one?
All right, so earlier you asked if I was excited about the Acolyte, and I was a little unsure. This I'm excited about, and I know that like the Tales of the Jedi and these episodes are usually really short, but I love it because Tales of the Jedi like made me shed a tear for Yaddle. We don't really know what happens to Yaddle at all, and then all of a sudden we finally, like all these years later, we finally get a little bit of backstory and insight into that, and it was very profound. So. Morgan Elsbeth is a character I don't really care too much about right now, but I feel like this show could make me care more about her, and I'm interested to see how she's connected with Thrawn, and if they show some of Balin and Shin, and how she's connected with them. I would like to see that. But for the Barriss Offee storyline, like this is what I've been like waiting for since the day that I saw that episode when she was arrested at the temple. Filoni a number of years back to an interview at IGN, and like I just immediately started connecting dots that she probably became an Inquisitor, and I'm glad we're seeing something. I don't know whether or not she's gonna fully become an Inquisitor. In the show, they might try and do some deviation, but I have a feeling she's at least gonna show us how the Inquisitors were formed, what the training was like, and then is she's given some sort of task that maybe she doesn't want to go through with, and maybe she, um, you know, dies or doesn't become an Inquisitor. So interested to see where that conclusion ends up.
Yeah, and I'm definitely with you. I'm really excited for Barasafi, and I know with Morgan Elsbeth, we didn't really see much about the character, know about that character, much about that character, and I really didn't connect with her in this show as much. I would like to, but I feel like this show's gonna like kind of give us like that connection that we're
Right,
like
which
looking
yeah, it'll
for.
make her performance in Ahsoka more impactful because I feel like
And
there was something there, but we
mhm,
didn't get that explanation to like really have the gravitas of it. I think
yeah.
here we're gonna see something,
Yeah.
and so so I'm interested to learn more about her backstory.
Yeah, like with the Tales of the Jedi, we got. I mean, Ahsoka, we kind of knew we always loved Ahsoka how she was, but I think with the Count Dooku like storyline, you could see like I love that you saw why he turned against the Jedi. Like you
Hmm.
could feel that anger and like that disappointment from his point of view about the Jedi,
Right, and you
and
can
it.
kind of see why Qui-Gon was the way that he was too, and like why
Mhm,
he potentially too could have
mhm.
become or followed
Mm.
Count Dooku's path. Like that seemed like where he was going before that fight with Maul.
Yeah, and it's
Would have
like
loved to have seen that.
I would have loved
A
to see
what
that,
if?
and then remember that scene when he had Obi-Wan in episode 2 where he had him like in that stasis like mode, right? And he was
Mm,
like, we are being like deceived by, or
Mm.
something like that. He made that some sort of statement where you're like, "Huh, what does he mean by that? Is he playing both sides or?" But now we know that like why he felt the way he felt, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm curious to see what else they're gonna come up with in the future. Tales of Jedi, Tales of the Mandalorian, Tales of Empire. Uh,
yeah,
and I think
more
these,
more of this type of content. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
more of this type of content, and I feel like will help like elevate some of the,
Yeah.
some of the TV shows and the movies that we see, and maybe we could it could help turn around like maybe our distaste for some of those like TV shows or even characters, and then make us like more,
Mhm.
especially the
It's like a
sequels.
morsel, just a morsel of content. It's like really short, real sweet. Doesn't have a huge connected universe really behind it.
Mhm.
I mean, it does. It leads into it, but like this is something you can just watch on the side and maybe be okay with it and be
Yeah.
like, all right, that's enough Star Wars for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, I'm excited. And May the 4th. How you Hey Gabe, I'm really excited to see what you have in terms of
Yeah.
what you have in store in terms of your content for May the 4th.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you have planned or?
Yeah. I got invited to like an event in
Mhm.
San Francisco. So I'm in San Diego, and then they're gonna fly me, my wife, out to San Francisco. And we're gonna
Oh,
stay
nice.
for this like May the 4th marathon at the Alamo movie theater.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, and they're gonna have a bunch of Star Wars props and stuff. They're being kind of a little secretive about it. So I'm thinking, because it's right next to Lucasfilm, like literally it's the closest movie theater to Lucasfilm. And they're gonna have the props there, like all displayed, kind of like how they're gonna have it in El Capitan, right?
Mhm.
Like they're gonna have like some episode one props. But yeah, so I'll be there. The event starts on the 3rd, so we'll start watching. So, and it's an all nighter. It's like a full day event. So like you start watching episode 1 at 8 p.m. and then 21 hours of like Star Wars content.
Holy crap. Are you doing the whole 21 hours?
No, no way. I wouldn't be able to manage that, man. That's a lot of Star Wars. Man.
I know.
I don't even know if I'll get through like episode 1. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting old, man. I'm gonna be like, oh shit, honestly. But yeah, so basically what they're gonna do is
Mhm.
they're gonna do like little events and little
Mhm.
things like in between each movie.
Mhm.
I don't again, it's kind of secretive, so um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting though, right? You know, even though you're not gonna watch. I mean, I give props to anyone that could sit through all. I think you would have to do all 9 movies, right?
Yeah, and they're
Dude,
not gonna show Solo and Rogue One, so just the Skywalker saga. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I have a feeling that like midway through episode 2, I'm already gonna be like done. I'm gonna crash and
dude, yeah. I was
Episode
like,
2 is a slog.
yeah,
right?
yeah, and I just can't sit in a chair for that long.
Hmm.
No,
Yeah, I mean, and plus, like, the last time I did something like that, I used to movie hop back in the day. I'm pretty sure everyone did,
Yeah,
right? Where
yeah.
when I was a kid, I mean, I was poor as hell, so I would
You
pay
bought
for
a
like
ticket and you were there for the day.
you were there for the day. I think and I was young. Like, I think I think Saving Private Ryan. I think it was whatever all the movies were coming out that day or that weekend. So that was like 3 movies. But even then, when I got out, I was like, oh my god, like, oh gosh, my eyes are like burning.
no.
But I wouldn't be able to sit through like a movie theater to watch. As big as a Star Wars fan as I am, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah,
I think, like you said, like Gabe, by episode 2, I'll be like, like
yeah.
knocked out. You know?
I definitely think it's worth seeing the original trilogy, like the
Yes.
original movies in theaters, like especially for those who haven't ever seen those movies in theaters before. Like, I got
Mhm.
lucky because the re-releases, the
Right.
remasters, whatever that he did in the '90s, so
Yeah.
they brought them back out.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was some of
Yeah.
my like favorite movie memories, is going to those movies with my dad.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
But and then let's just say, no offense to any sequel fans, I would probably just be like, okay, guys, sequels. Bye. Boing.
And
Yeah, right.
that's kind of where I'm heading on that. Like I asked the the PR person that's handling. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if like my wife's gonna be able to like I blamed it on my wife. I'm like, I don't know if she's gonna hang like the whole time. She's like, oh no, you guys could like you could leave to the hotel whenever you want. Like it's not mandatory. But like
Yeah.
the email like made it seem like very like if you leave, we can give your spot to someone else. And I'm like, I mean, at some point, like I don't really
Yeah,
care.
we watched it so many times. Like, how many times again?
Well, not only
Yeah.
that, but like think about it. I mean, even if you just do the math, right? Like starting at 8, let's just for easy math, 2 hours, right? So
Mhm.
that's episode 1, you're done by 10. Episode 2, it's midnight. Episode 3, it's 2, right? So it's 2 a.m. before you even get
Mhm.
to the originals, and then what ends at 8 by the time you finish through Jedi, right? That's a
Uh,
I couldn't stay awake.
yeah, no thanks.
There's no way I could do that.
No, I would no. I'm old.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I'm in my 40s. I can't do it. I don't know if maybe when I was like 13. I might have been able to do it, but
For
because
sure.
I have the energy. But now 40s, man. Shoo.
Right.
I'd be
No,
like if I
thank.
can get past 11 on some day, or 9 on some days, actually.
I
That's what I'm
know.
saying. Like episode 1 might even be a struggle for me. Like it's like 9:30 and I'm
Those
like,
lights go out,
Oh, your lights are going out. You're
Yeah.
like, you only wake up for Duel of the Fates.
right.
Yeah.
I
That'd be,
recognize this. Yeah.
and that'd be hilarious too. It's like all these like young influencer, like all like having fun and partying, and it's just like me, just like 43,
Weekend at Bernie's in your chair, and they're all like,
43-year-old Gabe is just like
I-
what's going on?
yeah. Awesome. Well, that's a cool main of force, though. That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what content you pump out on that day. It's a very exciting day. A lot of things, a lot of releases. I mean, this is the most I've seen being released for May the 4th in a very long time. And trust me, May the 4th, I usually take off from work. I'm like, hey guys, taking off May the 4th. They're like, oh, I know why you're taking off May the 4th. It's Star Wars Day. I'm like, no, get out of here. And I will go home. I'll be
oh,
like,
that's
in my
on
Star Wars.
Saturday.
Yeah, but now it's on Saturday, so which is pretty cool. I'm just wondering why such a big deal this year compared to other years, right? It's just like, is
I
it
think
because of the Phantom Menace?
Yeah, I think because of the anniversary, like I think they're really trying to capitalize on that.
Well, we had
Oh,
well, no, maybe that was 2 years ago. I'm losing track of time, man. Time is
mhm.
slipping.
How about you, Doc? Anything you're doing for May the 4th to celebrate Star Wars Day, or?
Nothing special. Probably we'll watch like the original trilogy on on disc. Probably we'll start like a day or two before, go through the prequels, and do original trilogy, and stop there on May the
Yeah.
4th. And then might throw Rogue One in there just because I feel like it's a nice like
Hmm.
addition to it, especially when you go right into New Hope right after Rogue One. It's really cool how
Yeah.
it lines up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I usually do that every year. I'll watch Star Wars on May 4th. Um, hang out with the guys in Discord, chat about whatever releases are announced and things like that.
Yeah. I'll be like in the Fan Expo in Philadelphia, right?
Nice.
So I'll be like trying to, to have a Star Wars lineup. So I'm gonna try and get quite a few signatures there. And then on Sundays, and it's May the 5th. I heard that I don't know if they're doing anything. I don't know if some of those movies are still gonna be in the, like I know
Oh,
May like Phantom Menace is gonna still be in the theaters, but I wonder if like Revenge of the Sith or some of those prequels are be there. But I know that Mondays when I fly out to Disneyland and celebrate, I'll continue the Star Wars celebration Disneyland over there.
yeah.
Uh, okay, guys. So last thing, and to talk about, I know there's a game that's coming out.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I was
y-
wondering if we were going to talk about this.
yeah. Gabe, you seen the trailer for this?
Yeah,
It's this Star Wars Outlaw.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, man? Like,
I mean,
you.
it looks great. I
Mhm.
mean, the thing is, like, I'm not a huge video game guy. Like the
Mhm.
last video game that I played and beat was Kingdom Hearts 3. So I get to
Oh, that's a good
that
one.
was
I
yeah.
didn't play that one. My wife is a big Disney fan, so she played that. Like, she completed everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was
So
a great game.
yeah, um,
But I
yeah.
wouldn't
So
mind playing this. This looks great.
yeah, I'm curious to see. I like the premise of it. I'm just not hooked on it. You
Mm.
know,
Hmm.
I like how it's, you're playing like this, smuggler, and you're trying to do some, maybe like some bounties for a job at some of the other, gangs in the Star Wars underworld.
No.
Uh, but I don't know. I just wasn't really interested in it. I mean, like I'm not a gamer like I used to when I was younger. I do play, like, I did play Jedi Survivor and Jedi is it Jedi Outcast? I forgot the name. Um
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. I
Yeah.
thought that Fallen Order was great. Outcasts. I mean, not Outcast, not Outcast. Jedi Survivor. I wasn't really a big fan of because the High Republic stuff kind of took me out of it.
Hmm.
This one, I'm not too sure. How about you, Doc? Are you excited for this game? Is this something you're looking to play?
So I'm definitely going to be playing it. I like to play the Star Wars games, going all the way
Hmm.
back to like Shadows of the Empire on the 64 and stuff.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
This one though, like yeah, there's something. This trailer hasn't hooked me yet. None of the gameplay videos have hooked me yet.
Hmm.
There's a few elements that I've seen, like when they actually showed the in-engine stuff that look appealing as far as gameplay. But
Yeah.
I don't want to say this, but the main character right now isn't appealing to me.
Yeah.
There's something about her that's not like gravitating me to want to play as her or care about
Hmm.
her story. Um, but once I start playing, shut my brain off, and I'm just hacking and slashing at stuff, that might change. But right now, she just seems like a lady Han Solo. Like we've seen this story before. She's
Hmm.
working with Jabba. She's running from the Empire.
Yeah. Nothing
Uh,
new.
yeah. So I'm just, what new element can they show me in this game that's gonna like continue to expand the Star Wars lore? Like I like to do my homework, and this game will probably have some homework in it. And um, but right now,
Yeah.
I don't feel a connection to what they're trying to push right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, for me, I want some Mandalorians, some
Yeah,
some Jedi, some Sith,
there
some
was a
Saber.
canceled game a number of years back where they were talking about you were going to be a Mandalorian, you were going to like go
Mm.
bounty hunting from planet to planet. I wouldn't mind playing that. I don't want to
Yeah,
be a smuggler. I mean, I want to be a
yeah,
Mando or a Jedi or a Sith or a gray Force user or whatever. Maybe she
exactly.
turns out being connected to the Force in some way. I don't know. I just something about being a smuggler in Star Wars doesn't sound appealing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I just like I mean, all the callbacks, right, that you start seeing in there, like obviously, they're playing the original trilogy fans there, right? You got a little bit
Mm-hmm.
of the Sarlacc pit, you got the Han Solo and Carbonite, you got, what I mean, like again, the ATST, like things like little callbacks. So that's why I was like, man, I'm I'm down to play that, why not?
yeah. I mean, who knows? I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna get this day one. Usually, like with
Yeah.
games, I'm like, oh wow, Star Wars game, because we rarely get any Star Wars game. I gotta get it. I'll buy it, and I play for the story. Like Fallen Order. That really was such a great game. It hooked me. The storyline was great.
Mm,
The ending was great. If you guys haven't played it, please,
no.
at least if you're not gonna play it, just watch like some of the YouTube videos, some of the cutscenes. They were amazing.
Hmm.
Fall. I mean, this one, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
To me, the best Star Wars video game I ever played is Knights of the Old Republic, and I know they're remaking that. So, hopefully, I know they're. It looks like it's going well, and it looks like it's heading to the right direction. And I really hope that it gets released and we get more out of that era, because I think that was such a to me it's one outside of the Skywalker saga, that to me is like, I think the best era, like that has like all these stories that could come out of it. So all right guys, so that wraps it up. I just want to say, Docs, thank you to Doc Smizzle, to Gabe for joining us tonight. Like I said, unfortunately, Sean's been really busy. He's been juggling a couple things with his life right now. So I'm hoping to get him back sometime next week. But yeah, please check out Gabe in Star Wars Replicas. Does amazing content. Please check out Doc Smizzle as well on Instagram and YouTube. And thank you guys for watching the show and listening to us. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Thank you guys. May the midichlorians be with you guys always and forever. Have a good night. I gotta find the outro. I always have it.
Always, every
I
time.
always have it. With StreamYard, there's like so many things here. All right. Thank
Right,
you
it's like
guys.
a long list of video. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys.